Picture this. It's 2:43 in the morning. You're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every possible financial disaster your brain can imagine. What if your car suddenly breaks down tomorrow? What if your phone or laptop stops working? What if your boss calls you into the office next week and says the company is cutting jobs? Suddenly your chest feels tight. You grab your phone, check your bank account, and instantly feel stressed again. But here's the strange part. There's a specific amount of money that changes the way your brain reacts to problems. Not $1 million, not even $100,000. For most people, the first real psychological shift happens after saving your first $10,000. And once you understand why, you'll never look at money the same way again. Welcome to Smart Money Cycle. Most people think money only changes what you can buy, but that's not really true. Money changes how you think, how you sleep, how you make decisions, how confident you feel walking into a room. And the reason $10,000 matters so much has almost nothing to do with luxury. It has everything to do with survival, because before most people save their first $10,000, life feels fragile. Every expense feels dangerous. You know that feeling when you're buying groceries and mentally calculating every item in your cart? Or when your friends invite you out to eat and you secretly hope nobody suggests an expensive restaurant? Or when your phone buzzes with a bank notification and your stomach instantly drops? That's what financial stress does. It turns normal life into constant survival mode. And the scary part is, most people stay trapped there for years. Living paycheck to paycheck changes your entire psychology. Every decision becomes emotional. You don't think long-term. You think short-term survival. A small car repair feels catastrophic. A medical bill feels terrifying. Even taking risks that could improve your life starts feeling impossible. Because when you have no financial cushion, one mistake feels like it could destroy everything. But something fascinating happens when your savings finally cross into 5 figures, especially around $10,000. Suddenly, life stops feeling like an emergency. That's the shift nobody talks about. Most people expect saving money to feel exciting, but the real feeling is quieter than that. It feels like breathing room. You stop panicking over small problems. A check engine light becomes annoying instead of terrifying. A surprise expense becomes inconvenient instead of life-destroying. And psychologically, that changes everything. Researchers have found that financial stress increases cortisol levels, your body's main stress hormone, which means money problems don't just affect your wallet, they affect your sleep, your focus, your patience, your relationships. Financial stress follows people everywhere, into work, into friendships, into conversations, into bed at night. But when you finally build a real financial cushion, your brain starts calming down. And here's what's really interesting. Most of the power of having $10,000 comes from not spending it. It comes from knowing it exists. That's what an emergency fund really is. Not emergency money, peace of mind. Because deep down, your brain knows you can survive problems now. You can handle unexpected situations. And once survival becomes less scary, your mind finally has space to think bigger. That's when people start changing. This is usually the moment people begin thinking differently about life. Instead of asking, how do I survive this month? They start asking, how do I improve my future? That's when people start learning skills, starting side hustles, investing, negotiating better salaries, or taking opportunities they were too scared to take before. Not because they suddenly became geniuses, but because fear stopped controlling every decision. And confidence changes behavior. A person with savings walks differently. They negotiate differently. They carry less desperation. And desperation silently destroys opportunities. Think about job interviews. Someone living paycheck to paycheck often feels terrified because they need the job immediately. That pressure changes their energy. But someone with financial breathing room feels calmer, more confident, more selective. And ironically, that confidence usually leads to better outcomes. This is why money psychology matters so much, because financial security affects your decisions long before it affects your lifestyle. Now here's something most people completely misunderstand. Saving your first $10,000 is not mainly about income. It's about identity. The hardest part is not the math. The hardest part is becoming the type of person who saves money consistently. Most people treat saving like a temporary punishment. They save aggressively for 2 weeks, burn out, then go back to old habits. But people who actually build savings usually experience an identity shift. They stop seeing themselves as someone trying to save and start seeing themselves as someone who protects their future. That mindset changes everything, because once your identity changes, your habits naturally follow. You start noticing wasteful spending. You become more intentional. You stop buying things just to impress people. You stop using spending as emotional entertainment. And, slowly, your financial life starts improving, not overnight, but consistently. That's the part social media never shows. Real wealth building usually looks boring, quiet, slow, intentional, but eventually it becomes powerful. And here's another psychological shift that happens after $10,000. Decision fatigue starts disappearing. Before savings, every tiny decision feels stressful. Can I afford this? Should I wait? What if something bad happens later? That constant mental calculation drains people emotionally. But when you have money saved, your brain relaxes. You stop making survival-based decisions every hour of the day. And the amount of mental energy that frees up is unbelievable. People literally sleep better after building savings. Their relationships improve. Their stress levels drop. Their confidence grows. Because financial pressure affects almost every part of human behavior. Now, obviously, $10,000 does not make you rich. You're probably not buying yachts or private islands, but it gives you something far more important: options. And people underestimate how powerful options are. Options mean you can survive job loss, handle emergencies, take opportunities, or walk away from situations that make you miserable. Without savings, people often feel trapped. With savings, they finally feel movement. And honestly, that's why the first $10,000 changes people so deeply. It's not the money itself, it's what the money represents: safety, breathing room, confidence, possibility. For the first time in their life, they stop feeling financially hunted. And if you're still far away from that number right now, don't panic. Most people build it slowly, one paycheck, one habit, one smart decision at a time. Because the real transformation isn't just reaching $10,000, it's becoming the type of person capable of reaching it. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Smart Money Cycle for more videos about money psychology, investing, financial freedom, and the hidden habits that quietly control your financial future. And remember, the goal isn't just making money. The goal is building a life where money stops controlling your mind.